Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome to Sports Corner PH interviews. But before we edit into our interview portion po natin, nice po namin ipaalam namin sa inyo na meron pong isang Facebook page na ginagamit pangalan ko. So please report, nagkakalat po yan mga kalukuhan doon sa Facebook. Paki-report at paki-block po yung fake Facebook page ng Gab Perez. Please lang, para at least maprotektahan natin. Protect me at all costs at of course para maiwasan na rin yung pagkakalat ng fake news, fake disinformation and misinformation na ipinopost natin. So alam natin ang aking ginagawa is truth and verified news na sinisika po natin ipopost natin every day. And sa pagpapatuloy ng ating programa, we'll be adding right now to our SEA Games Diaries where we feature some of our medalists in the recent Cambodia SEA Games. And for tonight, we will have the silver medalists in the sport of floorball, the Philippine men's floorball team. We have with us the team captain itself and defender of the squad, Lucas Perez. Lucas, magandang gabi and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me again. So we're really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. And this is the second time that we will talk to you. The last time we have conversation with you was during the World Championship when you ride the bus. By the way.
Exactly.
All right, and we have also with us one of the members of the team, the center of the Philippine men's floorball team, si Kim Varga. Kim, your opening remarks po.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. We're supposed to have one member of the squad to join us in this interview, but he has to cut off or forego his participation in our Zoom session because he is set to have a eye surgery. So we'll pray for his full recovery nga. And for sure, by the next competition, he will be fully recovered nga from the injury that he obtained during the meet. Okay, first of all, thank you so much again for gracing us at our show and for this opportunity to talk about and reflect upon the Cambodia SEA Games campaign. Kamusta na po kayo? How are things going on right now after the successful, even though we did not clinch the much coveted gold medal na stint in the recent Cambodia SEA Games happened a week ago? Lucas first, please.
Yeah, of course, we was unfortunate not to win, but as you mentioned, we managed to claim a silver medal, and it's something that we should be really proud of. But it was tough after the game, but we overall we did a good tournament, and we did our best and fought for our country with all our heart.
Okay, Kim, kumusta na po kayo after the SEA Games?
Yeah, now it's good. I have melted a silver medal. It's sad that we was this close for the gold medal, but now after a few days and recovery, I feel I'm proud over the team and what we have achieved.
Okay, just to clarify, Sir Lucas, you guys are part of the 2019 team, di ba? The 2019 squad in Manila.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Once again, please.
You guys are part of the 2019 team that competed in the Manila SEA Games.
Were you asking about how the preparation, if there was any difference because if you compare this one to the previous one in Manila?
Yes po, pero just to clarify lang muna, you guys are played in the SEA Games before in Manila in 2019?
Yeah, okay, I see. for me, Kim wasn't in the squad at that moment, but I think he was like prepared for it, so he knew something about it. But we had a good team then in Manila, but we unfortunately we didn't manage to go all the way through, so we were left without any medals at all. So I think that was one thing that we had like a real task for really develop. That's important for us to develop and do like a better tournament this time. And for this time, the preparation has been quite long for the SEA Games, something we're really aiming for, and our preparations were good. We had some online and some on court, but it feels like we were a stronger team now, a much stronger team than the previous one.
Okay, and how different it was, the developing skills, the training methods that you use for the team, and the aggressiveness of the team, and the camaraderie and the strengths of our squad compared to the last SEA Games when we hosted in Manila in 2019.
The difference is I think that we had like what do you say, wider troop squad, more players that are playing frequently and also on a higher level weekly. And I think that is before 2019 was my first SEA Games, so I didn't really know what to expect actually. So now when I knew what was upcoming, of course there's every tournament is a different tournament, but still more prepared for what we were achieving for and what we were trying to do to success as best as we could.
Okay, Kim, did some members also take up training abroad just in the past competitions? The same setup that you used in the World Championships last year, like in Switzerland before heading to Manila for the last phase of the training camp.
Yeah, I think we have more preparation for the SEA Games and with the more locals players too, and with the player who played SEA Games before. So it was more like a longer preparation than we usually have for like the Switzerland and Finland. So I think this was a better preparation for the SEA Games.
Okay. Sir Lucas, before we ask a question to you, can we divulge the composition of the team? Is it mostly abroad-based players and some local-based players there?
Yeah, as for what it is right now, there are like more players that is from abroad, like living here where I live, like in Sweden, and but we have some Singapore based. But as Kim mentioned as well, there were more local players this tournament that has actually been playing the previous SEA Games. So our goal, if of course, is that we want to have the sport growing in the Philippines, so we will be more competitive in the Philippines as well. So, but as it is for now, and I think a lot of it has to do with COVID as well, because when there was lockdown in the Philippines, you were still able to practice in Sweden. So, yeah, of course, that made like a difference.
Okay, so Lucas being the captain and let's say one of the veterans who have played in the SEA Games before in 2019, the last one, because of the composition of the team that mostly veterans and rookies, more local-based players and some overseas-based players, if SEA Games is preparing to. How do you reflect on carrying the leadership skills in building and molding up the team to be at par with the Southeast Asian rivals, most especially the top competitors and the powerhouse teams like Singapore and Thailand?
Yeah, first of all, I'm very honored to again have the possibility to cap the team, even though there are a lot of much better players, skillful players than me. But maybe I have some more experience because, yeah, of my age. and what I've during the different teams I have the honor to represent. Um, the thing is that we try to find a good mix in the team that we always try to do our best, and that's the least we can do as well. And it's very, very important. Of course, everything like is serious, and we try to do our best, but cannot forget to like having fun and try to enjoy it in the moment, because then you will be there like one day. Why, when you just stop playing floorball, and you just ask yourself, why didn't I try to enjoy it while I was in it? And now as you say, we have a lot of youngsters like Kim and the other guys who is like the future. I'm soon in the past as a player at least, but it's good for the young for the youth in the Philippines as well to have like role models, so they can like, okay, they are Filipinos, they can succeed even though they are playing abroad in Sweden in the highest league, and they can be competitive there as well. So I think that that's the thing, that they have to show the best skills on court, and then they will learn the rest outside of the court. Of course, we're talking a lot about being professional on court, but you have to relax and try to find a good balance for your energy while you're not playing, because else you will be drained so fast.
Okay, I'll throw my mic again to Kim. While training in Manila, you also managed to hold some tune-up matches against local teams as part of the intensified grassroots program of the Philippine Floorball Association. And of course, you added some conditioning methods as well. Tell us more about the last phase of the preparations before departed for Manila, going into Phnom Penh.
Yeah, so we have a training match again, Orcas and some local players that was selected, and it was really fun to be playing against them and see how the level was in Manila and how the sport was growing. And I think the last match we did a good preparation to meet all the players and local players to like be really excited for playing for Philippines in Cambodia.
Apparently, this SEA Games is the comeback year for floorball because in last year's edition of the SEA Games, we missed out in Hanoi. Are there any expectations before the SEA Games going into the training camp, and of course, the coaches' confidence and trust that they have given in preparing for this gigantic battle?
You can take that one, Kim.
Yeah, we have met the big team in Asia, like Singapore and Thailand, on the World Championships, and after that, in like Finland and Switzerland, we feel that we have good chances to beat them in SEA Games, because we have a good team, and with the preparation for the SEA Games, the coaches feel that we are the stronger team, and the confidence is all player, and the energy we have around us will like do the job. And I feel that we did the best we could, but unfortunately, it didn't go all the way.
Okay, before we assess the performance of the SEA Games, is the participation in other international tournaments, Sir Lucas, is a major advantage or an impact in the preparing for the team?
Come again.
Is the participation in previous international competitions considered as a huge advantage for the team to prepare for the SEA Games, especially ones that match up before?
Yeah, I think so. As Kim mentioned, that we have played against the bigger team here in Asia several times, both Thailand and Singapore. But of course, it's important in the preparations that you are can have the chance to play against like really good and tough opponents like in the World Cup in Switzerland, we played against other nations that we haven't played against before. And for every game, you learn something. So, of course, it's like an advantage to play games against stronger opponents. So that was a good part of the preparations for the SEA Games. But I think that all the tournaments is like a cycle. So like these SEA Games will also be preparing for the next tournament and so on and so on.
Okay, let's go to the assessment. As we all know, it was a intense and well, of course, a difficult battle and a challenge for several Filipino teams to face Southeast Asian rivals in the competition itself, just and even other sports too. In the group stages, we managed to get a sweep against the countries like Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and Cambodia, the host country. But in the finals, we got lost against Thailand 2-3 to notch the silver medal finish. How tough it was for the team to have a good run in the SEA Games, which ended up with a silver medal. Assess to us, what are the pointers, what are the cues and breakdown on what happened during the SEA Games? I'll start with Sir Lucas, then Kim will follow.
Yeah, the key points actually was we had like really good focus for every single games. We have like different preparations before every game, and we know that some of the players maybe have like different roles that we have to adapt to the whole team plan, game setup, and so on. And we knew that we are a strong team, but we know that there's also like a long tournament as well. So we have to gamble with the energy of some of the players, and if like a player was injured or sick, maybe we have to think in the long run as well, because the final was the final game, of course. And some things you cannot like prepare for, like different injuries, like for Simon when we played against Singapore and he got injured uh, during his eye, and that's why he's not here right now. We had like a really good feeling during all the tournament in our team, and it sounds like catchy, but it's very, very, very important to rely on each other, especially when it's tough. Then it's the most important. And I knew there was some of the players that played a lot and some players that didn't play so much. But even though despite that, the players that didn't play a lot, they were still like 100% prepared and focused and cheering for the team. So that's give you like the extra energy to show like, okay, if I have the chance to play, then I have to show and why. And if I like have the feeling that okay, I have to rest for a shift, then I know that that guy will be prepared anyway, even though it's just one shift for the whole game. So I know he will try to do his best. So even though some of us play like different game time, but we did it together as a team.
Okay, Kim, you have added inputs on your on the team's assessment for the SEA Games, and you have stand out in some matches. Tell us your assessment there.
Yeah, we get the schedule for the SEA Games some weeks before, and they changed the schedules that we know that we're going to face Thailand in the first match and Singapore in the third match. So our coaches and the players know that we need to, like, in the first match against Thailand, use a lot of energy to like beat the team for the first time. And the few players who played will go 100%, and it take hard on the body, but everybody is like doing the best. Those who don't play and playing, and same the match against Singapore, we play on few players, and everybody did 100% too there. So it's taking very hard on our bodies to be like like 100% in the final, but we know that all of the recovery and the training that will be 100% ready for our goal that was the final match against Thailand that we think it will be. And so yeah, I think like that.
Okay, Sir Lucas, describe to us the collective effort of all the players, especially in those who have key roles and key positions there. The skills, the balance, playing time are were the keys in winning the medal, and of course the support of the coaches as well and the NSA.
There's like a lot of important keys, but as you mentioned, of course, there is like the squad, the with the players, but we wouldn't like be anything without if we hadn't have like the coaching staff around us with all the preparation and like the physio and something that you maybe don't think of so much when you are like at home because you know like okay they're just on a tournament and they're there with the team, but like one of the most important thing is actually all the support from like family and friends and relatives. That is the thing that do the difference. Somehow like their families down there in Cambodia, and that will have like I don't know how much energy that gave, but it was like huge because okay they went all the way down here to see us play. We cannot let them down, so of course and they are so helpless so they tried to like do what they could so we could be as prepared as we could. So of course we have to mention yeah friends and family as well because without them and their permissions and their patience we wouldn't like we weren't even should could be there in Cambodia.
All right, Kim, what's your reaction upon getting the silver medal? We're supposed to win the gold, sana. Sayang naman. Can we imagine it would take 8 years since floorball was introduced in 2015 in Singapore and the Philippines were participated there before the men's team got the first ever medal in the SEA Games since floorball was started to make waves in the SEA Games. Sayang nga yung ginto, pero at least you have been contented with the silver medal.
Yeah, floorball was a new sport for the Philippines, and it's a hard sport to play. It takes time to practice and be really good at the sport, and to like in now it has gone 8 years before we take our first medal in floorball. It feels like it's a good time for the Philippines to like going for the medals now after 8 years, and I feel like the team is only going to be stronger and stronger for the next tournaments and the next big events for our nation.
Okay, so Lucas, looking at the first runner-up finish at the SEA Games, what are the reflections that the team could make impact and be stronger and train better for more competitions lined up this year, including the one that well, let's say qualifiers for the World Championships next year?
We have actually, before the qualifiers, we have actually 2 tournaments ahead. So there is actually one in October, and that's AOFC, and that should be held in Singapore. And then it's AMAG, Asia Indoor and Martial Arts Game in Bangkok, in Thailand. But the thing, what we have to prepare for and try to develop is, of course, the stamina is one of the most important thing when there's like a long tournament. And we have seen that of course, you can try to win over team because you are like better skilled, but if you have like a good stamina in like an average in your team, that will help you in the long run. So um and that's the big difference because like if you're running here in Sweden, where I am located right now, uh, there is like a different thing of running in this temperature if you compare with the humidity and the temperature down in Asia. So it's almost like a different thing. But you more you play down we in that conditions, the better you get to like adapt easier as well.
All right. So we wrap up this interview as we end this interview. Again, congratulations on winning the silver medal. And before we gave your final remarks as we close out this Zoom session, let's do our photo op po tayo. So thumbs up po tayo and smile. All right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, Lucas and Kim, as we conclude this Zoom interview that will be posted later on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, please subscribe and follow nga sa ating mga social media channels. Maybe a simple message to our kababayans. For those who have been supported from the start until now that you guys won the silver medal in the SEA Games, it's your turn to give some shout outs and of course, kanino nyo i-dedicate ninyo yung panalo? Who wants to dedicate the win? Lucas first.
Yeah, first of all, as I started, I'm really honored to have the chance to cap and have the honor to play for the national team of the Philippines. Even though I'm not living there, it's my birth country, and I try to connect more every time when I'm down in the Philippines. And this wouldn't be able to happen if we wouldn't have the support from, of course, from the PFA and from the PSC and POC, and all from the coaching staff, and of course my family and friends that makes this possible. And the main thing is to kababayans overseas is try to prepare as good as you can and try floorball, because it's a good sport that suits us Filipinos, because we can be good at it. So if you haven't tried before, try.
All right, that's good, inspiring words to ponder by Sir Lucas. And again, congratulations on getting the medal. And hope that many overseas-based Pinoys will try to get the spot in the national team in the near future. Some the PFA has plans to have a talent search or identification of the Pinoys and even those who live abroad to become part of the national team. I heard there's some tryouts right now, Sir Lucas.
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't there, but Kim was there during this weekend. In I think was it like in Muntinlupa or the La Salle? I don't know which one it was, but there is a future, of course. So it's important that we, of course, go local so we can have them abroad so they can see the difference between the local floorball and how it's been playing like abroad. Some things you can still continue with, and some things you maybe have to change or think like in other way. So of course it's I mentioned about people abroad, but of course we want the sport to grow in the Philippines. That's the main important thing, so we don't have to explain every time what sport it is.
All right, kudos to that, Sir Lucas. And Kim, who do you want to dedicate this win? Tell us your shout outs and of course your final message to our sports fans that they have supported the team in the SEA Games.
Yeah, I would like to thank all the sponsors and, of course, as Lucas said, the PFA and those who helped us with everything with this tournament, and all the families and the supporters who was believing in us that we can do it, and my family is too, who is proud of what the team have achieved. So I just want to thank all of them, and it means so much for us. Maraming salamat.
All right, well said. And we'd like also to thank PFA for granting our interview with them. And tomorrow we'll be hearing the thoughts of our bronze medal winning women's team in the post SEA Games assessment and reactions. Again, congratulations to both of you, Lucas and Kim, and to the rest of the team. Keep us updated and looking forward for more developments, more updates about our national team, the ongoing identification search for the next members of the team, and of course the Philippine floorball in general, because floorball is considered as one of the fast rising team sports in the country today. And you get to see more of our men's floorball team, especially this coming year. There's IMAG and of course the Asia Championships and the World Qualifiers. So keep us posted, and until our next conversation, again, congratulations. We're definitely proud of your achievements. Truly inspiring. Bye-bye po. Maraming salamat and God bless.
Bye-bye.
Salamat
Thank
po.
you.
Bye-bye.
Salamat.
Thank you.